Let's talk about Battlefield 6. More specifically, my wish list for Battlefield 6. The things I wanna and don't wanna see in the next installment. Welcome to my channel. This is my first video on a channel that will be based around first-person shooters in the future, especially Battlefield, because I've been a fan of the series for a very long time. I don't want to get into too many details and bore you with my life story, so let's start discussing my wish list. In the background you can see a very bad gameplay that I recorded very quickly. It was my first game in probably over a year, not just Battlefield, but any first-person shooter in general, so bear with me here. There aren't many points I want to discuss, 5 to be exact, but one of them is very important to me: Rush and Rush maps. Here's a bit of history on Rush. If I remember correctly, Rush was first introduced in Bad Company and has quickly become one of the most popular game modes in the Battlefield franchise. Back in Bad Company 1 and 2, Rush was probably the most popular game mode, with Conquest being kind of a sidekick. This trend started to shift a little bit with Battlefield 3 and tipped the scale in favor of Conquest completely with Battlefield 4. But why is that? It's because of the map design. Veterans of the series will remember maps like Valparaiso or Orica Harbor in Bad Company 2 or Damavand Peak in Battlefield 3. Linear maps that were designed with Rush in mind. Damavand Peak is a great example for this. You start off in an area of the map that wasn't even accessible in the Conquest game mode, because it wasn't designed for it. Compare that to the maps of Battlefield 4, where each and every map is seemingly designed for Conquest, with a Rush route slapped across the whole thing. It doesn't make for very good Rush gameplay. The reason I love Rush so much is because a single squad, or even just you and your friend, can make enough of a difference to decide whole games in your favor. All it needs is one good push towards a bomb site. I've had many great games where we attacked the base over and over again without success, until finally, just before we ran out of tickets, we were able to push through and advance to the next base, only to start the whole thing again. This is some of the most fun I've had in any first-person shooter ever. So what I would like to see in Battlefield 6 is the return of Rush, with a few maps designed with Rush in mind. They still make great Conquest maps too, so it's not like fans of Conquest miss out on anything. In fact, I almost like those maps in Conquest more, because it allows you to have a battle with two fronts that are trying to push each other back, which is a lot more fun than the pure chaos of wide open Conquest maps, where you seem to be spending more time running from flag to flag than you spend time fighting battles. The next point on my list is night maps. I don't want to talk about that for as long as I did with Rush, so we'll make it quick. I love playing night maps, such as Terran Highway and Death Valley in Battlefield 3 or Dawnbreaker in Battlefield 4, so I'd like to see more of those again. I guess I just really like the atmosphere they bring into the game. The last topic on my wish list of things that I want to see in the game is cosmetics. But this heavily correlates with things I don't want to see in the game, so we'll talk about both sides. And for this, I'm gonna address some of the rumors floating around the internet so far. One of them being the introduction of a battle pass in Battlefield 6. The idea being that cosmetic items will be unlocked by progressing through the Battle Pass levels, like in Fortnite or Rocket League. Personally, I am not a big fan of it. The main reason being that I don't want to pay full price for an AAA game and then also having to pay a monthly Battle Pass in order to unlock all the content they put into the game. I'd much rather unlock weapon skins and other cosmetics by mastering the weapons or completing various assignments like we did in the past. I can see the benefits of it, of course, They generate money by selling optional cosmetics, which in return allows them to release future DLCs for free. I'd much rather pay for the DLCs or just buy a premium or deluxe version at release though. But knowing EA, we'll get both. The option to buy a deluxe version of the game and then still having to pay for a battle pass in order to unlock additional cosmetics. I also want to talk about the type of cosmetics. I hope that the cosmetics will be kept at least somewhat realistic. We've had all kinds of camo weapon skins in Battlefield 4, from Arctic to Forest to Navy, and that's how it should be in my opinion. I don't mind gold-plated guns for mastered weapons either. What I don't want to see though is people running around in glow-in-the-dark weapon skins and pink uniforms like in Call of Duty. The last point I want to talk about is skill-based matchmaking. This is another rumor, so at this point it's not clear whether skill-based matchmaking will be in the game at all, and if it will be, whether it's only used to balance teams or if it's used for the whole matchmaking process. Now, I think skill-based matchmaking can be a good thing, as long as it's used to balance teams within a game. We've seen this in previous battlefields, where teams get shuffled at the start of the next round, based on their performance in the previous game. Sometimes it was a good thing, sometimes it was a bad thing. The flaw with this system was always that it didn't account for leaving or newly joining players. What I think would be a good concept is if we had some kind of hidden skill tied to our account that balances the teams based on that very skill before the start of every round. It's not a flawless system, but we will never get a flawless system when it comes to balancing teams anyways. It's just not possible. What I don't want to see happening with skill-based matchmaking, however, is that entire matchmaking process is tied to it. Say, you only get matched up with and against players on a similar skill level as yourself. A system like this has no place in a casual game. And Battlefield is, after all, a casual shooter, at least in public lobbies. Here's the thing about that system. It's a good thing for average players or newcomers to the game, but it absolutely ruins the experience for above average to good players. And yes, I do count myself in that category. It turns every game into a competitive sweatfest for us. If I want to play a competitive game, I play Counter-Strike or Valorant, at least on PC. One of the reasons I love Battlefield so much is because of its casualness to it. That doesn't mean I only want to play against players who are worse than me. It's the good mix that makes it. Everyone who has Battlefield experience knows there's good players in every lobby. Some who may even take it a little bit too serious. But does it really ruin the experience for someone who isn't as good? I don't think so. And after all, we've all started at some point. We've all been noobs who finished every game with a negative kill-death ratio. But we survived, we've gotten better at the game anyways. And the good thing about Battlefield is that it's not a Call of Duty team deathmatch where the kill-death ratio matters. Battlefield offers so many other options so that you can help your team even if you lose most of your gunfights. So all in all, I think skill-based matchmaking, yes, if it's only there for balancing teams, but please don't tie the whole matchmaking process to it. I think that covers the most important bits. Let me hear your opinions in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe, maybe even give me feedback on what I can do better in future videos. I'm trying to improve my content after all. See you next time, maybe on the battlefield.